Hi golfers, Nick here from Nick Taylor Golf. It's Friday, so welcome to another lesson on golf tips. This week on golf tips, we're going to talk about that myth, keeping your head down in the golf swing. So the reason I called it a myth, keeping your head down, is because it's probably one of the most popular go-to bits of advice that you get from your amateur golfers. So when you're swinging and you top the ball, oh, you lifted your head up. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the head movement, what should actually happen, give you guys some details to how the best players move their head throughout the course of the golf swing. In discussing the head movement today, we're going to take a look at the video from both angles. So first of all, just do my sort of normal golf shot here. And if you watch closely there, you'll see from the side view here, my head doesn't move too much. And then from the front view, my head will stay very centered in the backswing, down to impact, and then it will move slightly towards the target as we get through into the finish. Now, some of the best golfers in the world, they do move their head around a little bit in the golf swing, but it just makes it a little bit harder to control the low point of the golf swing. So the golfers that I teach in the stack and tilt system and here at GOLFTEC are to try and keep your head as stable as possible throughout the golf swing. We're going to go into some sort of details in some key pointers for what your head should do in the golf swing. We're also going to take a look at what angle we're looking for in the shoulders to help us keep our head stable throughout the golf swing. And I'm going to give you golfers a drill to sort of work on to help with your head movement in the golf swing. So talking about the myth of keeping your head down through the golf swing, I think a lot of golfers are led to believe that if they top the ball, it's because they've looked up or they've lifted the head, and generally that's not the case. In my experience, golfers that tend to sort of top the golf ball are those that have actually started to flex their arms and pull their arms away from the golf ball. A lot of golfers actually that think they're lifting the head up are actually keeping the head down too long, and that can cause them to stay quite forward in the follow through, and again that can cause you to flex the arms and struggle to create power and hit quite steep into the golf ball. So if you take a look at what the best players do, they keep their head pretty stable throughout the golf swing. Some, like I say, do move around a little bit, but generally they'll stay quite stable from both angles here. So we've got the camera set up from both angles just to show you guys what the head should do through the golf swing. So technically, we're going to talk about what happens in the backswing first of all. So at setup here, you'll notice that my eye line here is very level to the ground. But by the time I make a backswing, my head is actually slightly tilting to the left as I make a backswing. So I'm not actually keeping my head fixed on the ball throughout the course of the swing. I'm actually tilting my head. However, I want my head to stay very stable in the golf swing. I don't want to keep it level to the ground. I want it to tilt to the left. And the reason I want it to tilt to the left is to help me rotate my body and turn my shoulders in the backswing. Some of the best golfers through time have sort of tilted their head a little bit to the left at the start of their backswing just to help with that rotation. So in the golf swing and the backswing, I'm looking for my eyes to tilt slightly to the left as I go back. And then as I go through, I'll start to level out the tilt of my head as I come into impact. And then by the time I go through into the finish, my eye line is actually going to be tilted to the right. I've talked about the body movement a lot in the golf swing, how we tilt to the left in the backswing, and then we tilt to the right in the follow through. So the position we're going to talk about today is actually in the follow through position, and we're going to talk about the angle of the shoulders. So I've talked about using the GOLFTEC sensors here in the backswing. The average tour players tilt their shoulders around 36 degrees. In the finish, by the time they get to right arm parallel, their shoulders are tilted roughly 49. And by that stage, their head will be pretty much in a circle throughout the course of the backswing and impact and through to about right arm parallel. By the time I finish the swing, the head's going to come up. But generally that head should stay very stable throughout the course of the swing. So it should stay pretty much in the circle from both angles. So today I'm going to share with you one of my favourite drills that I use here at GOLFTEC to help golfers keep their head stable and the right idea for the head movement in the golf swing. So the training aid I've got here is the Tour Striker plane station. You may have seen this. It's got different angles, so you can put alignment sticks in at different angles just to help with swing plane, but also for the head movement. With the plane station here, I've just set up a noodle and alignment stick in number 60, and this is quite a good angle for me. So by the time I set up to the ball, I've kind of got the top of the noodle here against just the right side of my head. Now the idea is, in the golf swing, I'm going to try and stay against this in the golf swing, but still tilt my head to the left as I talked about earlier. But then into the follow through, my head should still be there until right arm parallel. And from both angles, my head should be pretty much in the circle, but I've changed the tilt of my head. And then by the time I finish, I should be moving away from it. So if you are able to set this up, it's great. This is one of the best training aids I've found. If you can't, then just video your swing and just put a circle around your head and just measure that movement. So what I'm going to do today for this drill is to just place the noodle against the right side of my head. I'm going to try and stay against it for as long as possible. And as I finish, I'm going to try and hold my finish at right arm parallel. So that shot felt really good. And I tried to stay against that for as long as possible. You might not be able to stay perfectly against it the whole way through the swing, but the closer you do that, the more you're going to keep your head stable throughout the golf swing, improve your contact, improve your swing path, and the power in the golf swing. So there you have it, golfers. In the golf swing, your head should tilt to the left in the backswing and to the right in the follow through. And when you're videoing your swing, your head should stay very stable throughout the course of the swing. We're not getting golfers to keep their head down throughout the course of the swing. Like I said, if you're topping the ball, it's probably not from lifting your head up, it's probably from flexing the arms, in my experience. So golfers, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to find out a little bit more about the stack and tilt golf swing, check out this playlist, and I'll see you again next week for another video. The most